Hello, this is another video response to some Christians who are spreading lies and envy and hatred towards Muslims and propagating false information and lies against Muslims to drive people away from Islam after they see how many people are entering Islam and coming to Islam in big numbers, and how even Christians, a lot of Christians are coming to Islam. The majority are Christians that are coming to Islam, and after they realize that that the Trinity does not equal one if you're monotheist and you worship one God, no matter how you try to explain it or no matter how you try to think about it, unless you're pre-programmed to think that. Another lie that I'd like to expose that the Christians like to use and try to propagate is they say that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, says or does not have a miracle, and his only miracle was the Quran. Of course, the Quran is a miracle, but it's not the only miracle. And they use Surah Al-Isra, which is chapter 17, verse 59, to confirm that claim, and they don't, because I'll explain why. And they say that God says in these verses, and we refrain from sending signs or miracles only because people or men from former generations treated them as false. And yes, this did happen. God explains that a lot of prophets came before and they had miracles and they showed the people, and people still disbelieved. And even Jesus, peace be upon him, he came and he brought people back to life with God's will and permission, and still some of the children of Israel did not believe in that and did not and say that he's a magician. Now, back to Muhammad, peace be upon him. Did he have a miracle? Yes, he had many miracles, and he had big miracles. Where are they mentioned in the Quran? I'll get to that. Why does the verses 1759 say that then? And Christians that criticize Islam and turn a blind eye to the same books and same sources that they quote from the Muslims to attack the Muslims, they turn a blind eye to the rest of the information or other information that could lead them to their answers. And the Quran mentions in chapter 54 verse 1, and also in Bukhari, which is another book that is most authentic after the Quran, and it's the sayings of the Prophet, peace be upon him. It mentions in volume 6, book 60, number 388, the story where some Christians, or some non-believers, they came to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and idol worshippers, they came to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and told him, we want to see the moon split in half before we believe in you. And they said, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, in the name of God, may that happen, and it did. And people saw that, then they said right away, no, this is magic. And of course, the people that were in trades that were going across the desert, a couple of days later they arrive and they confirm what the Prophet, peace be upon him, did, and that the moon was split in half. And that confirms the miracle, but yet they still didn't believe. Now back to verse 1759, or chapter 17 verse 59, and he's talking about a specific event that happened after the first event where the Prophet, peace be upon him, showed them the sign, or the moon split in half. Then some people wanted to see streams of gold and rivers of gold, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, asked God, and God said, I will show them this miracle, but if they disbelieve again after that, I will punish them on earth before Judgment Day. And of course, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, no, I want to take my time with them and try to bring otherwise. And that's why that miracle didn't happen. And that story is also mentioned in Tafsir Ibn Kathir. I'll have it on the screen, and you can enter the verse number and a chapter number, and it'll bring up the story or anything that the Prophet, peace be upon him, or happened with the Prophet, peace be upon him, and confirm what I'm saying. Now, if you look also 2 pages after that, in chapter 17, verse 89 to 93, it says a similar story where they came to the Prophet, peace be upon him, again, and they told him We won't believe until we see you fly up to the sky and bring us down a book and bring God with you and bring the angels, and we want to see all that happen in front of us before we believe. And we want to see gardens, and we want to see this and that. So they wanted to see God. And of course, as we know as Muslims, nobody saw God from the beginning, and and even the children of Israel, the ones who saw the most miracles, they asked Moses, peace be upon him, that they want to see God, and God punished them for that, but then he forgave them for that after Moses, peace be upon him, asked them to forgive his people because they don't know. And that is what happened with the prophet, peace be upon him, and basically confirming what the first verses are coming with. And they're making fun of the prophet, peace be upon him, asking him, we want to see God and the angels and everyone. And in case, of course, you don't believe what I'm saying, and again, I say that to people who are not ignorant, that they may refer to this book, Tafsir Ibn Kathir, which they themselves, the ones who attack Islam, they try to quote this book, and they interpret it to what's best fit for them.